The Bank Shot, released 1974, directed by Grover Chaplin, written by Wendell Maines and Donald E. Westlake. Scroll Brook could have walked around that tree, but it's much funnier to walk into that tree and kill the tree in this desperate comedy. Scroll Brook did not knock that guy down, but he fell over anyways in this very desperate comedy. Scroll Brook basically says to George C. Scott, hey, you want to take a bank money? No, I don't. We have to, because that's gonna be very funny. Just wait. That's what the music is like in this very desperate comedy. This man is playing golf and shenanigans don't happen. The golf ball does not break anything. I am very proud of this movie. George is going to burn the map. No, he's not. Hey man, I'm gonna try to disguise as you, even though I look nothing like you, so I can go and steal from a bank with some weird sex tool in your mouth. This man does not know how to use a bulldozer, even though he's working in construction for years. He breaks everything. So funny. Scott hates everybody he works with. He's gonna make this man go down a dam for no damn reason. Haha, we don't see how this man gets out of this mess. This is a very dark and edgy film. George C. Scott broke a wooden house and the glass broke. Someone had to build this stuff and they just see it get destroyed on set. I want to see them cry because that would be funny. Jonah Cassidy is going to be the woman who tries to put the moves on George C. Scott, and wearing a big beard when you're on a motorcycle is very, very funny. That was a goofy music. Dorsey Scott is going to make out with this young woman, but before she makes out with him, Dorsey Scott says, I don't like to mix business and pleasure. This is kind of unconsensual. That's what makes it funny. Grohl Brooks has a Hitler mustache. That is so funny. Bob Belton's dry sense of humor is not utilized in this film because this is a slapstick comedy. Wood is bald, that means he's evil. Let's drive into traffic that's going the other way. We might get hit by one of these cars. This movie really commits. This is a very desperate comedy. This man doesn't know how to drive. We got to go over, under, over, underhead, over the under, over, under. That is a joke apparently. Going to plan out our plan to steal from the bank at a fast food place. So the fat guy can eat fries while I'm explaining a plan, and I'll make explain the plan really funny. Bob Belden is allowed to use his dry humor when he tries to explain a bank stealing plan like a SAT problem. You see, if a man is fat and he walks this many steps, then it's gonna be this hard to steal from the bank with the alarm. But this is overshadowed by Scroll Brook chomping on his fries. It has to be very quiet. I want a lot of phones. That doesn't sound very quiet. That is a joke. That's the goofy music. This comedy crew is Frank McRae, John Kalfa, Bibby Ostwald. Frank McRae gets really pissed off at this comedy duo for being too analytical and not funny enough this scene. So he pulls out a gun. Get off your damn soapbox. Soapbox? That's a commentary word. Satire. Please laugh, kind of. Boing, 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 blah, 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 blah. Hey, 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 hey. We forgot to write jokes for 2 minutes and a half. So the audience gets shenanigans. The spy says, hey, nice boobs. Very, very funny. George C. Scott is eating ice cream. They capture him at a apparently embarrassing moment in his life. Very, very funny. Mm-hmm. 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 We're setting up something. This joke is very, very complicated. Takes a long time to set up. Shopping cart almost crashes into the car. They made that shopping cart almost go into that police car. Very complicated machinery. That joke almost took 3 minutes to set up, and that old lady ruined it for everybody. McDonald's product placement. This is another joke that takes 2 minutes of setting up machinery to be funny. Jonah Cassidy is forcing herself on George C. Scott. This is the joke they were building up to. Freaking hilarious, right? The man getting her ass is hilarious, apparently. Especially when he can't escape. That is the goofy music that they play while George C. Scott is just walking in a pharmacy after he got harassed. Bring, 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 bring. This is not quite a plan, unlike the villain said it was going to be, because they have a lot of phones. This is very funny. Two men getting milkshakes from a restaurant and can't read the product placement. These policemen need to go to a joke that takes 3 minutes of machinery to set up. The joke is Bimmy Oswald is committing suicide. This is a dark comedy now. Goofy music was setting up something. Hey, old lady's jumping off a building. This is a very dark topic. I need to scream it to be goofy and funny. Boing, 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 bing, bang, bing, bing, bang. Your policeman fell in some wood. Don't jump, Ma. We are not the right type of comedy to handle that type of comedy. We do not have the right comedy tone to handle this show. At least there is some airspace in between the music that goes like bang, and it's very desperate comedy. Is this supposed to look like a set? Is that the joke? Because it looks like shit. Laser beams, acid, stuff that can burn people's faces off is very funny. Their hard consonants and hard consonants are funny. Did George C. Scott just fall asleep? George C. Scott is usually a man going to a dark side in his dramatic movies, but this time he's doing it in comedy. That's so funny. Everybody must eat McDonald's while this boing 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 music is getting set up because we're not sure if this movie's gonna make his money back. Sure, George C. Scott is going to a dark side in this goofy comedy. This comedy film has some heart. This is a classic now. George C. Scott's eyebrows are up. Goofiness. Please let me be in hardcore and hospital. Please. Please, God, let people remember me in those movies. Bring. That is going to compensate for us not having the music for the rest of the shenanigans. Explosion that took like 3 minutes of the music goofiness to set up. Men are stuck on a hill. George Dorsey skits on a train, epic, goofy comedy. Boing, 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 desperate. Boing, boing, boing. This entire comedy crew is on a mountain. George C. Scott is swimming in the water. He has to be very cold in the water to make this comedy ending so epic. So that's the bank shot. This is a very desperate 1970s comedy. This is mostly a annoying shenanigans movie with maybe some clever dialogue sprinkled in there, but that gets overshadowed by all the shenanigans comedy. And maybe George C. Scott could work as a straight man, but not the way this movie is written. Just like the harassment joke is really bad, and just George C. Scott is just always looks tired around these um goofy shenanigan jokes. This is a really desperate comedy that does not work. I mean, it makes sense why this comedy is like this because Groucho Chaplin was used to working in TV shows that was comedy, but that was back when they only had a couple of channels. Well, yes, in the 1970s, they only had a couple of channels. The comedy was really starting to evolve into something different, and this shenanigan comedy stuff was getting way old, and we needed some way clever dialogue and some way clever storytelling, like in films like Jerk, to really stand out. And this movie does not stand out. It's just a forgettable shenanigans comedy. And George C. Scott looks really tired in this film, and it's just a miserable experience. So I would not recommend this movie unless you can get the fun atmosphere out of it that I did not get out of it. Bye.